The night sky over Earth was silent, darker than usual, as if the stars themselves were watching something forbidden, far away from cities. Deep inside a forgotten desert, a shadow moved across the sand. At first, no human noticed it, because it made no sound, no fire, no warning. Then the ground began to shake, slowly, gently, like the planet was holding its breath. When the dust settled, something impossible rested on the broken land. A massive alien starship, cracked, burned, and silent, lay half buried in the desert. Its metal skin was not silver or black, but something in between. Glowing faintly under the moonlight, the ship looked dead, abandoned, and forgotten by whoever built it. Days passed before humans reached the site. Satellites had seen the crash, but no signals followed, no alien attack came, no invasion, no message from the sky, only silence, heavy and confusing. The first team arrived carefully, soldiers and scientists walking side by side. Their weapons were ready, but their eyes were wide with fear and wonder. They stood before the ship like ants before a fallen god. The surface was covered in deep scars, proof of a battle far beyond human weapons. No doors opened, no lights turned on. The ship did not react to their presence. Some believed it was a trap, others believed it was a gift. After hours of scanning, they found an opening. Broken and torn, inside, the air was cold and thin, but breathable. Strange symbols covered the walls, glowing softly like dying stars. The floor was littered with broken tools, shattered screens, and alien bodies turned to dust. This ship was not lost by accident. It was abandoned, deep inside the control room. Humans discovered a damaged data core, still barely alive. When they powered it using human tech, a message played, cracked and distorted. The alien voice was calm, cold, and full of arrogance. "This vessel is beyond repair," the voice said. "This world is primitive. These creatures are weak." The message repeated again and again, like an insult carved into time. The aliens had decided Earth was not worth their effort. They left their broken ship behind, confident that humans could never use it. For a moment, no one spoke. Fear turned into anger. Anger turned into something dangerous. Humans began to explore deeper. They found engines larger than buildings, weapons fused into the ship's bones, and a power core still pulsing like a slow heartbeat. This ship was wounded, but it was not dead. Scientists whispered in disbelief. Engineers touched the alien metal with shaking hands. The impossible question formed in every mind: what if this ship could be fixed? What if humans could learn from it? What if the aliens were wrong? Far above the desert, the stars continued to shine, unaware of the choice being made below, because in that silent moment, humanity crossed an invisible line. They did not destroy the ship. They did not hide it. They claimed it. And somewhere in the darkness of space, the aliens who abandoned this vessel had no idea. Their mistake was still sleeping on Earth, waiting, learning, and when it finally woke up, the universe would remember the name of this planet. The world did not learn about the ship all at once. Governments moved in silence, hiding the desert under layers of secrecy. Satellites were blinded, maps were changed, and the place was erased from public records. To most humans, it was just another empty land. But deep below the sand, the alien ship was no longer alone. Lights flickered inside its dark halls, weak at first, then stronger. Human machines hummed beside alien systems, learning each other slowly. The ship did not fight back. It only waited. Scientists worked day and night. They slept on metal floors and ate beside glowing walls. Every symbol was copied, every sound recorded, every reaction studied. Humans did not understand the technology, but they understood patterns. The alien language was complex, yet not perfect. It followed rules, and humans loved rules. Bit by bit, symbols turned into meaning, meaning turned into knowledge. The first real breakthrough came when a door responded. A human hand pressed a panel, and the ship answered. The sound echoed through the chamber like a heartbeat growing stronger. Hope spread quietly, dangerous and powerful. Engineers reached the power core again. It was unstable, cracked, and leaking strange energy. The aliens had abandoned it because repair was too slow, too costly. Humans saw something else. They saw potential. Using simple tools and endless patience, humans built bridges between systems. Human wires fed alien circuits. Human code spoke to alien machines. The ship began to accept them. More alien logs were unlocked. These were not warnings, but records. They spoke of battles far away, of enemies stronger than humans could imagine, and of Earth. The aliens described Earth as weak, low gravity, slow minds, short lives, a planet not worth conquering, a planet not worth saving. The words burned into every reader, but instead of fear, they created focus. Humans worked harder, faster, smarter, because humans had something the aliens underestimated: adaptation. Years passed, hidden from the world. Children grew older without knowing the truth beneath their feet. Inside the ship, human teams grew confident. They were no longer guests, they were builders. The ship was given a name, quietly, without ceremony: Hope One. Not because it saved Earth yet, but because it represented what humans could become. The first engine test shook the desert. Sand lifted into the air as power surged through alien metal. The ship did not rise, but it responded. Systems aligned, balances adjusted. Somewhere deep inside, ancient alien protocols failed. They did not recognize human logic. They did not expect human creativity. The ship changed. Weapons were studied but not activated. Humans knew the risk. They were not ready for war, but they were preparing for return, because every recovered log told the same truth. The aliens would come back, not for Earth, but for their lost property. And when they returned, they would not expect resistance. They would not expect understanding. They would not expect humans, standing inside an alien warship, smiling at systems once thought impossible, learning faster than anyone believed. Above Earth, the stars remained calm, but below the surface, something was growing. Not fear, not panic, preparation. Hope One was no longer a broken ship. It was a lesson, a warning, and a promise. And when the aliens finally looked back at Earth, they would realize too late, humans had been learning the entire time. The return did not begin with fire or noise. It began with shadows crossing the stars. Human sensors detected movement far beyond the moon. Objects too large, too fast, and too organized to be natural. Deep inside Hope One, alarms woke sleeping teams. Screens filled with symbols humans now understood too well. The aliens were coming back, not as explorers, but as owners. Multiple alien warships entered the solar system. Their formation was calm and confident. They did not expect a fight. They expected recovery. World leaders were informed within minutes. Fear spread across Earth like a silent wave. Cities prepared shelters, skies filled with defense drones. But everyone knew the truth. Human weapons were nothing compared to alien fleets. The alien command signal reached Earth, clear and cold. This vessel belongs to us. Return stolen property. Submit and you will be spared. The message repeated in every language humans spoke. It was not a threat. It was an order. Inside Hope One, no one answered. Engineers looked at soldiers. Soldiers looked at scientists, and slowly, all eyes turned to the ship. Hope One was ready, not perfect, not complete, but alive. The alien fleet moved closer, scanning the desert where the ship once slept. They detected energy signatures, and confusion spread among them. The abandoned ship was active. Before the aliens could react, Hope One rose from the sand. The desert exploded into light and dust. Alien sensors struggled to understand what they were seeing. Human hands controlled alien systems. The aliens paused. Shock replaced arrogance. Because the impossible had happened, humans rebuilt the ship. The alien commander laughed through the channel. Primitive creatures, you copied shadows, not power. You will fail. The first shots were fired. Alien drones attacked Earth defenses. Human cities burned under distant strikes. The sky turned red over the horizon. Hope One moved between Earth and the fleet. It did not attack first. It shielded the planet. Alien weapons struck its hull. Old scars opened again. Alarms screamed. Systems strained. But the ship did not fall. Human upgrades activated. Power rerouted through systems aliens never used together. Human logic broke alien expectations. The ship adapted mid-battle. Hope One fired back. Not with full force, but with precision. An alien cruiser lost power. Another spun out of formation. The alien fleet pulled back in confusion. This was not possible. Humans were not meant to fight like this. Humans were not meant to understand alien war. Earth paid a price. Several cities were damaged. Lives were lost. Fear became real. The alien commander spoke again, voice tense now. You learned nothing from us. You will be erased. But something had changed. The laughter was gone. Confidence cracked. Hope, one stood damaged but standing. Humans inside were bleeding, exhausted, yet focused. They saw the truth clearly now. This was not a test. This was survival. As the alien fleet retreated to regroup, humans studied every move, every weapon, every mistake. The aliens believed this battle was a warning. They believed humans would surrender next time. They were wrong, because this first clash taught humans something far more dangerous. The aliens could bleed, alien machines could fail, alien confidence could break. Hope, one drifted back toward Earth, scarred but stronger. No longer a secret, and across the planet, humanity realized one thing together. The war had begun, and humans were no longer prey. Earth did not cry after the first battle. Earth became angry. The damage was clear. Cities were scarred, skies were dark, and names were lost. But instead of fear, something stronger spread across the planet. Resolve. Inside Hope 1, repairs began immediately. Humans did not wait for perfect plans. They worked with broken hands and tired minds. Because time was the enemy now, engineers rewrote alien systems. They removed limits aliens had placed on their own machines. Safety rules were ignored. Efficiency became everything. The ship changed again. Alien logic was clean and careful. Human logic was fast and ruthless. Hope 1 became something new, a hybrid. Weapons were upgraded, not to destroy worlds, but to end fights quickly. Humans did not enjoy war. They wanted it finished. A new intelligence was born inside the ship. Not a true AI, but a human-guided mind. It learned from instinct, emotion, and choice. Alien systems could not predict it. The alien fleet returned sooner than expected, larger, heavier, and angrier. They no longer mocked humans. They came to erase them. Hope 1 did not wait this time. It moved to meet the enemy far from Earth. Humans chose the battlefield, not the aliens. The second battle began without words. Alien weapons lit the darkness of space. Human shields absorbed the first storm, then adapted. Hope 1 moved like a living thing. It dodged attacks aliens believed unavoidable. Human pilots took risks alien minds rejected. Speed replaced caution. Human fury powered every system. Weapons fired in patterns aliens could not read. Not perfect, not elegant, but effective. Alien ships began to fall. One lost navigation. Another lost weapons. Another vanished in a silent explosion. The alien fleet panicked. They had never faced enemies who learned this fast, who changed strategies mid-fight, who accepted damage to gain advantage. Hope 1 pushed forward. Its hull burned, its systems screamed, but it did not slow. Humans remembered every insult, every log calling them weak, every word saying Earth was worthless, and they answered with action. A human message was broadcast across open space, clear and calm. You left this ship on our world. Now we decide how it is used. The alien commander tried to retreat, but humans had already calculated the path. Hope 1 struck the command vessel, not destroying it, disabling it. Silence followed. Alien ships stopped firing. Confusion replaced coordination. The battle ended not with victory screams, but with alien withdrawal. Fast and desperate, Hope 1 did not chase. Humans knew this was not the end. This was a lesson. Earth watched the stars again, this time without fear, because the truth was clear now. Humans were not protected by luck. They were protected by effort. Hope 1 returned home, damaged but victorious. No longer a secret project. Across the planet, people looked to the sky, not for gods, not for saviors, but for themselves. Somewhere far away, the alien fleet limped toward its home systems, carrying something heavier than damage, fear, because they finally understood what they had awakened. Humans did not fight for pride. They fought for survival, and survival made them unstoppable. The war did not end with the second battle. It only became quieter, more dangerous. The alien fleet fled toward their home system, damaged, shaken, and afraid. They believed humans would stay behind. They believed Earth would choose defense. They were wrong. Inside Hope 1, humans made a final decision, not driven by anger alone, but by memory, by loss. Humans understood something the aliens never did. If the threat was allowed to return, it would return stronger. So Hope 1 followed. The journey was long and brutal. Alien space bent and twisted around the ship. Systems failed and were repaired mid-flight. Humans refused to turn back. They were done waiting. The alien home system appeared at last. A massive star surrounded by countless structures. shipyards, stations, and cities floating in silence, a civilization that believed itself untouchable. Alien defenses activated immediately, weapons locked onto Hope 1. Warnings flooded space. Turn back, you do not understand what you face. Humans said nothing. Hope 1 moved forward slowly, not attacking, not hiding. Alien leaders watched in disbelief. This was not how enemies behaved. This was not fear. This was control. When the first shots were fired, Hope 1 responded, not with destruction, but precision. Defense platforms went dark. Power grids collapsed. Communication arrays fell silent. The alien world was blinded, not destroyed. Hope 1 transmitted a single message, clear and translated into every alien dialect. You came to our world. You judged us weak. You left your weapon behind. The message paused. We learned. Alien fleets rushed to protect their home. But their systems failed again and again. Human logic had already rewritten the rules. Alien technology now obeyed human command patterns. Panic spread across the alien civilization. They had never faced enemies who chose restraint, who could destroy everything, but did not. Hope 1 reached orbit above the alien capital. Weapons charged, systems stable. Humans had a choice. They could end it. They could erase a civilization. They could become what the aliens feared. They did not. Instead, Hope 1 released a final transmission. You will remember this moment. You will remember this ship. You will remember this planet. The alien leaders listened in silence, because they finally understood the truth. Humans were never weak. They were patient. Hope 1 disabled the core of the alien military network, rendering fleets powerless, ending the war without ending a world. Then the ship turned away. No victory songs played. No celebrations followed, only relief. Hope 1 returned to Earth, scarred, rebuilt, and legendary, a symbol of what humanity had become. The universe began to whisper. Stories spread through distant systems, about a small planet, about a broken ship, about a species that turned abandonment into strength. From that day on, alien maps changed, trade routes shifted, borders moved away from one small blue world Earth, because the message was clear. If humans could rebuild an alien warship, if humans could learn this fast, then humans were not prey, they were a warning. And somewhere among the stars, the aliens who once laughed at Earth remembered one final truth. Never leave your weapons behind. On a human world, the war ended. But the universe did not forget. Silence returned to the stars. Yet it felt different now. On Earth, life slowly rebuilt itself. Cities were repaired, skies cleared, and people learned to breathe again. But humanity was no longer the same. Hope 1 rested above the planet, no longer hidden, no longer secret. It was visible from the surface at night, a quiet shape among the stars, watching. Children grew up hearing stories about it, not as a weapon, but as a lesson. Schools taught history differently now, not about weakness, but about choice. Humans remembered how close they came to extinction and how they survived, not through strength alone, but through learning. Hope 1 became a place of study. Scientists from every nation worked together. Old borders meant less than shared survival. The ship was never fully rebuilt, and that was intentional. Humans left its scars visible, to remember. New human ships were designed nearby, smaller, faster, and fully human, built with lessons learned from alien mistakes. Human technology changed direction, not focused on conquest, but readiness. Deep space listening stations were created. Human explorers moved carefully, respectfully, because humans now understood the universe was alive, full of watchers, full of judgment, and somewhere far away. Alien civilizations were also changing. Stories spread faster than fleets, about a species that learned too fast. Some aliens feared humans, others respected them, many avoided them. No alien empire wanted to be the next lesson. Hope 1 remained silent most of the time, its systems running low and steady, its presence calm, but it was never asleep. Years passed, then decades. Humanity reached outward slowly, offering trade, knowledge, warnings. Messages sent into the dark carried simple words. We want peace, but we are ready. Most listened. One day, a distant signal reached Earth. Not hostile, not demanding, curious. An alien probe approached the solar system. Weapons powered down, signals open. Hope 1 activated for the first time in years, not to fight, but to greet. Human diplomats watched as the ship moved gently into position, a reminder without a threat. The alien probe stopped, analyzed, then backed away slowly. The message it sent was short, respectful. Understood. Hope 1 returned to its orbit, mission complete without a shot fired. Across Earth, people smiled, not in pride, but in relief, because humanity had proven something rare. Strength did not always need destruction, power did not always need fear, and patience, when combined with learning, could change fate. Hope 1 would one day fail. All machines do, but its legacy would remain in every ship humans built. In every choice they made among the stars. The universe continued to expand. Danger still existed, but one truth was now written into cosmic memory. Earth was not a weak world. Humans were not a short chapter. They were survivors, builders, and when necessary, defenders. And far beyond the reach of light, among civilizations that whispered and watched, one rule was now shared: never underestimate humans, and never leave your future behind on their world.